Hey guys, my name is Dalton, and on this channel here, I talk all about personal finance, investing, and wealth building. So if that's something that interests you, you're already gonna wanna subscribe to my channel because I put out a ton of content around that. But here's the thing, this video here today is whether or not you are brand new to investing or maybe you've been doing it for a while, these are some of the beginner mistakes that you should not be using when you start investing with the Robinhood application. So let's just jump right into the video. So the first two topics right here are somewhat generic. It kind of applies to most investors as they begin. It's not necessarily tailored to the Robinhood app specifically, but the first thing is that they don't seek out more information, meaning there's a lot of free educational resources out there online that you can use to your advantage. One of which is actually a website that I created, diligence.com. It's going to be linked in the description of this video. And essentially here is going to be a ton of different useful tools and resources that you can use to get yourself into the game of investing and give yourself the biggest advantage possible. Now there's so many other websites that you can use. There's Yahoo Finance. There's just a number of different things out there that you can use to your advantage. So don't limit yourself when you're looking at some of these solid resources. Here's a list of my favorite ones being displayed on the screen right now. So the second thing that most investors mistake when they first start investing, and I don't know if it was just me, I feel like this applies to almost everybody out there, but that is thinking that you are gonna make $1 million, a killing in your first year on the stock market, or even in the short term. You think you could just jump in, start day trading, swing trading, trading penny stocks, maybe doing options. There is just so much that is thrown at you out of the gates when you are an investor, and so many people out there preaching that they know the best method for you, what you should be doing, and they claim to know exactly what the market's gonna do. Now, here's the thing, no one actually knows what the stock market's gonna do, so it is highly unpredictable, but there are some really key ways that you can go about investing. And I think the best way for myself and most investors out there would probably be long-term dividend investing. So that's really what I preach. I don't claim to know much about the stock market. I just love talking about my investments that I make for the long term. My account that I have here on Robinhood, I plan to hold for the entirety of my life. I plan to, buy all of these stocks. Hopefully I won't have to sell them, but if I do, it'll be for other investment purchases, such as the investment property that I'm working towards right now. So jumping right into my Robinhood account, you can see it right now, it's sitting around $5,600. This has been fluctuating a bit, but I really haven't added much funds into it because I am beefing up my cash holding position. So one of the first tips that I have, and one of the first things that, most investors jump in and they don't necessarily do, which is actually the third one on this list, is going to be properly diversifying your portfolio. And there's so many different ways you can go about this. You can see in my $5,600 portfolio, if I scroll all the way through, I have over 20 stocks here. So diversification, some people would say that is properly diversified, and some people would say that's not enough diversification. It all depends on the type of investor you are. So you might also notice that one of my top holdings here is SPHD, and this is an ETF. So essentially, if you don't know what an ETF is, it operates as a basket of stocks, and that is one way that you can limit your diversification. So for this one in particular, it invests in over 75 different stocks, and you get it all for the low price of $32.55. This one primarily focuses on high dividend but low volatility stocks, and there are so many different ETFs out there, so many different index funds that you can be looking at that are properly diversified that can really help fuel the growth of your portfolio. If you don't really know much about investing, when I first started, all that I did was buy a broad stock market index and just kind of left the money in there and watched it grow over time. Now, on average, you could see around an 8% return from a lot of the indexes or ETFs that are in this category. But what you want to look out for is the actual expense ratio within them. You don't want it to be too high, and there are so many different options out there, but here are some of my favorites. So I'll definitely be sure to link this Investopedia article here, but these are definitely some of my favorites. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, this is the one that I chose to go with, but you can see there's a number of different options here. You also have the Schwab Total Stock Market Index, as well as the iShares Russell 3000 ETF, and then finally the Wilshire 5000 Investment Index Fund. So there's so many different options out there. You're definitely going to want to look at them, and right here you can see the different expense ratios already lined up for you. So if you want to look at this article, then head on down in the description. Now, the fourth mistake that I see everybody doing on the Robinhood app for whatever reason, when you first start off investing, and I don't really blame these people, how are you to know what's going on? So if you actually scroll and you go into a stock, so let me just go into Microsoft, for example. If you went to trade Microsoft and you went to buy a new share, you can see in the top right now mine is set to dollars. Every time I buy a stock like this where I'm getting a full share, I'm gonna make sure that I do a limit order. Now, what limit orders does, it essentially allows you to set the exact price that you are willing to pay for the stock that you're buying, and you'll be able to purchase the stock if it goes below that value, but not if it goes above that value. So if you're super focused, whether or not you have a huge account with a lot of money you're investing, or you have a very small account, every single dollar that you put into the market matters. So for example, right now you can see the market price is $212.83. Maybe I wanted to buy this stock for no more money than $212.50. Well, I can do that just by putting in that value right here. And this means that until the stock drops to that $212.50 mark, I will not buy it, and it will just sit in my pending transactions. Now, whenever this happens, I usually buy still at what the market price says it's at. I'll look at what's going on, but 212.83 might be, you know, a pretty good buy-in point here. So I'm still gonna do that just in case anything happens in the short term, especially when you're trading those lower valued stocks that have huge fluctuations that are highly volatile. First off, I wouldn't really recommend investing in those to begin with. But second off, if you're really trying to make the most of your money, you're not gonna wanna overpay. And sometimes they can jump up and spike really, really fast. So for this case, I'd set it at that 212.83, and if it spiked real quick but then dropped back down, I would still be in the clear to be able to buy this stock at a decent price. Now, the fifth and final thing that I want to talk about here on the list is actually just fact checking within the Robinhood app. There are so many glitches that go on, and we see it all the time. Robinhood apologizing for having to close down the app because something occurs. Well, you just want to make sure that when you're looking at this, I've seen stock charts be completely off. I've seen dividends for companies that don't even offer dividends. I've seen everything out there that you can think of that would happen within the app. It's really frustrating, but it's one thing that you can't take lightly when it comes to investing. You got to take your money very seriously. So what I recommend doing is going back, and anytime you're trying to make a big purchase decision, just verifying with a highly credible source that the information is actually accurate and you're getting into the type of investment you want. Now, if I start my screen up again for the Robinhood app, you'll see that on the home screen here, you actually get a few little swipe throughs. You can see different news articles that are surfacing around different companies, but like I said, fact check these even, because they're going to be pushing out articles. They try and weed out the fake ones, the bad ones, but anybody can really create these articles and get them up there. You just want to make sure they go for the highly credible sources anyways. But even though that is the case, it doesn't mean that they're going to be accurate 100% of the time. So don't take any of the information super seriously here. You want to make sure that you are doing your due diligence into the stock market, doing your due diligence into the companies you are investing for, and making sure that you are sound and making solid financial decisions. Now, a little bonus tip here: if you guys are waiting in line for any of the Robinhood features, whether it's fractional shares, cash management, anything out there, trust me, this is going to be something that you want to hear. Now, I've posted several videos talking about the waitlist process, how it all works, and actually how you can get off the waitlist super quickly. And this has worked, I'd say 95% of the time. The people who respond to these videos say it works. All you need to do is email the Robinhood team and just, you know, give them a courtesy email. Just talk nicely, speak to them and say, hey, listen, I'm a big fan of Robinhood, really like the features that are coming along. I would love to take advantage of everything that Robinhood has to offer. And is there any way you could just bump me up the wait list at all? And I guarantee you, I mean, most of these cases I've seen, people are responding, they're getting off the wait list within a week. So it's something that is well worth trying. And even if they respond and they say no, Heck, I might wait a few days and try it again, see if you can get somebody else from the Robinhood team, because I know for a fact that they are bumping people up this list super fast. So you're definitely gonna wanna take advantage of that if you can. Anyways, that's all I got for those top 5 beginner Robinhood investing mistakes. Now, if you guys had any mistakes that you made when you were starting investing, please leave them in the comment section below. I don't take it lightly. I've been there. I've probably done everything that you have done as well. Let me know, just open some dialogue. Thanks for checking out this video, guys, and have a great day.